Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And as you arrive, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. I'm about to set up my phone so that I can see, and I'm going to set it over here. That worked pretty well yesterday. So let me um, get it in there. So hold on. Um, I can't talk and do this at the same time. Oh, too funny. All right, so let me go in and find it. All right, there we are. Silence. All right, and I'm going to set it up on this stand over here so I can see. Hopefully. Oops. Oh, there we go. All right, perfect. Ah, it's a glorious day. Smite chilly, but still a beautiful day. And like I always say, if I woke up this morning, and I did, so here I am, it's a glorious day. And the same for you. If you woke up and you're here, or even just the fact that you woke up, that's an amazing celebration all by itself, right? All right, let me take a sip of my coffee, and I've had a little much this morning, so when I finish this cup, I'm going to switch to decaf, okay? Or get me a cup of tea, one in them. Once again, got my $1 million mug. Like I said, it's quite my favorite. Um, so and I don't know if you're like me and you have a favorite mug that what's really funny is if it's in the dishwasher, just finished washing, and I open the cabinet, I will think, wait a minute, is it clean? And I'll open the dishwasher and get it out. That's what I did this morning. And so it's really funny. And I think I've told you before, I have a favorite cup over at my sister's house that we gave her for Christmas one year because we used to really watch the Gilmore Girls a lot. So it's from the Gilmore Girls. It has a phrase on there, and so even now when I go over there, if she says, "You want a cup of coffee?" I'll say, "Yeah," and she'll get that same mug out for me because she knows that's my favorite. She's like me; she's got tons and tons of mugs, and there you go. I still use the same ones, but those others are for everybody else when they're visiting, right? So, or do you have a collection of something like that? When you get here, make sure you say hello, let me know that you're here, and then I would love to know, am I the only one that has all these different collections? Now, my daughter is she is funny in that not only does she like to collect coffee mugs, but she likes glass containers. So if we have, like, you buy a thing of olives, right? And maybe it's in this little tall, skinnier glass. She wants to save that too, and she'll take milk in it or whatever to work and things like that. She'll use it to mix things, but she likes to save these glass containers. And I will say that over like the last few months, I ended up using a bunch of those glass containers to make a starter for to make bread. Didn't go as well as I thought. I will share that. And so I'm going to try it again. And so I'm using them like now we put just different things in these different glass jars that we actually. Good morning, Heather. I see you're watching. Say hello and and join the conversation with me. But do you have like a collection of something like that, glass jars? Or I know people will, like, I used to collect the glass teapots, and different sizes, different looks, and I still have some. But when I moved, it's like, do I really need all of these? So I purged and gave some of those away to other people, and then I found that now I've got a few more, and it's really really interesting that you just kind of get like, oh, there's something, then that's cute, I love it. So tell me, Heather, do you have something like that you collect? Oh, and by the way, the book that I was looking for yesterday, found it. And, I told you yesterday that I'd been looking for it, and I'd looked all over my shelves several times and could not find this book. And I did it again yesterday. I tried several times to find this book and I couldn't find it at all. So this morning, when I sat down at my computer to set this up, I thought, I think I'm going to try one more time. And I looked to my left where this bookshelf is, and it was right friggin' there. Right. So I had not seen it. I looked and looked and looked and couldn't find it. And it was right there. So, and it's not like anybody came in here and put it in the place, but it was right in front of my face. What is that old phrase? If been a snake, it had bit me. And I don't know, that may be a Southern phrase or it may be a phrase everywhere, but I used to hear that all the time. When you're looking for something and you can't find it and then you find it, it'd been a snake, it bit me. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this morning's affirmation. And before I do, I want to tell you that I was on a call yesterday and did a podcast recording yesterday, and there was some things that we talked about in there, and then that kind of got some little thoughts going in my head. And then this morning I start listening to YouTube like I always do, and all of a sudden they said something. I understand to collect teapots as well. I had a lot from my grandmother, but also purged them. I do collect different types of roosters, like ceramic roosters that you put in your house, or maybe it's roosters of all kind. I had a friend that she had rooster plates, she had rooster wall plaques and pictures, and so is it that kind of thing, or is it just the ceramic statue kind of roosters? I'd love to know. So when I was listening to the YouTube this morning, listen to me, the YouTube. When I was listening to YouTube, the actual person that I was wanting to listen to, all of a sudden they said something that kind of reinforced something that I was thinking yesterday. And so I thought, okay, that needs to be the affirmation, and I'll create a journal prompt with that. And so I've got that for you this morning, and I'd love to hear how this resonates with you guys. All right, so today's affirmation: I love me just as I am. And the reason, small roosters, rooster rugs, rooster light plates, etc. Oh yeah, you're into roosters for doggone sure. And what happens a lot of times when people are like that is, I know it happened with my father-in-law, my stepfather. He liked eagles, and so it seemed like after he declared that he liked eagles, every gift he ever got was some kind of eagle. So now he has so many eagles, he doesn't have places to put them. So you'll be inundated with roosters, especially after we've energetically talked about it. You'll get more. So embrace it, Heather. So the thing about I love me just as I am is, let's think about it. When you get in a relationship or you're dating someone, or if you're married, whatever it is, we want them to love us just as we are. We don't want to have to change. We don't want them to say, it would be great if you lost 20 pounds. If you weren't if you weren't always late, maybe if you weren't always so friggin' happy in the morning. And sometimes we tend to get into relationships where people are always wanting to change us, right? But that's not what we want. We want them to love us just as we are. And what is the movie? Hold on a second. Bridget Jones' Diary. In there, she is just so blown away that her love interest says that you've got all these quirky things about you, but I love you just as you are. And then it's like, what? He loves me just as I am? But what I would like for you to do, I'd like for you to embrace, is you loving you just as you are. Because sometimes that is the hardest thing. And we've talked many, many times about how this is all a mirror, right? People mirror back to us what we think of ourselves. And so when you get in a relationship or you have a friend or an acquaintance that seems to always point out the things that you want to change, it's because you're constantly doing that to yourself. And they're just mirroring the energetic stuff that you put out. And you know in your heart, you want them to love you just as you are, when inside you're not doing that for yourself. So, this is all about waking up to the fact that the things that you say to yourself on a daily basis are huge. And this is where the book comes in. So, it's funny that I was wanting to talk about this a little bit yesterday, right? So, this is the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And there's a lot of books about this. And this is something that I help my clients with. I really do. And so I will put a link in the comments. Let me see if I can grab it. Let's see. Um, where is it? Where is it? All right. Well, I will come back to that. I will come back, and before I get finished here, I will go and I will find that, and I will post the link, and then I'll actually put it in the comments in the Facebook group of where this is actually streaming out to, so that you can check out this book yourself. But and one of the other books that I love where he talks a lot about this is with Michael Singer, and it is The Untethered Soul. And so he talks about how you're constantly talking to yourself, and you're even talking to yourself right now when you say, I don't know, do I really talk to myself in your mind? And so we do all the time. And most of the time, we're really talking to ourselves in a very negative way. I cannot believe yesterday I said I was going to do this and I didn't do it. I can't believe I got on the scales this morning and it says it went up and not down. And, sometimes you're so stupid. Sometimes you just need to try harder. I can't believe you made that mistake. So we constantly will do that to ourselves. And a lot of times people will say, well, I was just, and they'll even say it out loud in crowds and stuff. And they'll say, well, I was just joking. I was just making a joke. Well, see, your subconscious mind doesn't know the truth from fiction and the joke from what's real. It's all the same. And so when you're making jokes at your own expense, and a lot of people do it, and I'm not sure, and I've done it before, years ago. It was like, it's kind of like when you think about it, what is the name of that movie? Oh God, I don't know what the name of it is all of a sudden. But anyway, it's the one where it's the acapella group. Why can it not come to my mind? And it's Fat Amy. And they ask her what her name is, and she said Fat Amy. And they say, why do you call yourself Fat Amy? She said, so you guys, you skinny, what she says is, you skinny bitches are going to do it. So I'm going to do it first. But see, that is really, it's good for the movie, right? But not good for you if that's what you do. And a lot of people will belittle themselves in the front of others so that they don't. And it's the same premise. And the thing is that everybody around you may laugh, but your subconscious mind is taking note. Ooh, that must be true. And so I want you to really, really, really think about what you say to yourself. And I will say, for me, I mean, I've been working on this for years, and there are times that I will still catch myself going down the rabbit hole of chastising myself for something. And the trick of it is that as you get better and better and better and better and better and better at this, you will recognize right away. Hold on, this earpiece is bothering me. You'll recognize right away that you're doing it and stop. And then you'll say, I can say this better. I can do this differently. That's really not what I want in my life. It's not what I truly, truly want. And then you reform whatever it is that you're saying to be more beneficial to you. And so sometimes it's like when, and I've been really, really honing in on learning a lot more technology stuff. And luckily, I have a great coach that is helping me with that. So thank you, Stacy Lauren, when you watch this. Um, but the thing is that for so long, my thing was I would say, I don't want to do that because I'm not good at tech. I don't want to do that because that's too hard. I don't want to. And I would say that all the time. And it wasn't until I started working with Stacy that I started realizing that, it's not that I'm not good at it. It's just that I hadn't really tried that one thing. And so now I'll say, I'm not good at that yet. So that I know that it's not a permanent thing in my life, I can make it different. And that, just like we talked yesterday about, we can create anything, right? And so with this, just remember what you're saying to yourself and what you say about yourself is some powerful, powerful stuff. So begin today with your affirmation. Put it on your sticky notes, your index card, your mirror with the chalk marker. And I will be doing that as soon as I have the opportunity today on mine, and I will share it with you guys. Put it as your screensaver. This would be a beautiful screensaver. And if you're a person that uses Canva, create a Canva um, uh, post or a Canva wallpaper and put it on your phone. That would be magnificent. And I have to share, I will tell you, I do not do that. And the main reason is for those of you who know that I have the granddaughter that I never, that is not around. And so I still have her as my screensaver on my phone all the time. And if something ever happens to my phone, I go back to that same screensaver. And I have my watch. I don't know if you can see, it's a Minnie Mouse. And the main reason is because she loved Minnie Mouse and I could touch it and it would say, good morning. And she just would giggle. And so I have those as the permanent thing right now on my phone and my watch. So I don't do that. But so you have to pick what is the thing that is going to help you the most, because changing that on my phone is not going to be what helps me the most. Putting it on my mirror where I see it all the time, putting it on my computer, putting it on an index card or a sticky note. Those are the things that I know will help me. And so I don't know what it is that's going to do it for you. You only know. And if you don't know right now, just take a few moments when we get off here and sit and breathe, relax, and set a timer for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. That's all it'll take. And in that 5 minutes, be silent. Don't answer a call. If you've got people in the house, if you have to, go retire to the bathroom and be in there for 5 minutes and just be silent. And if you hear things around you, you can label them. That's the fan, that's somebody talking, that's whatever, that's the weed whacker outside. Label it. But then think, where would it benefit me the most to put this actual affirmation? Where is it going to serve me? Where is it going to make the biggest difference? And see what comes up. You know, there may be something that we haven't thought of, and I would love to hear if you find something that you want to, where you want to put it, that we haven't mentioned or I haven't mentioned, because I'd love to know. And it's the same with we're one of the main goal in our group, Make Lasting Change, is everybody to go in and share their peachy vibes, their self-care for the day. And there are some days that people share a whole bunch, and some days that people don't share much. And I guess it depends on where you are in your life, what you're working through. And so just share that into the group. And the reason I mentioned the hashtag Peachy Vibes is because putting that into the group is so powerful. And what I learned when people started doing that was how different it was for everybody and all the different odds and ends of things that people felt were self care. And that really came to my realization really early on with me because I had hired a business coach. For those that don't know, I had hired a business coach. And one of the things that he told me was that I need to give up my podcast, that it was I needed to focus on where I wanted my business to grow. And the podcast was a distraction. And I thought about it when he said it, and it didn't feel good. And I said, wait a minute. I said, my podcast is my self care. That's where I get to go and speak and learn about people and share their stories and share some of mine. And it just feels amazing. And that's when I realized, wait a minute, that is my self care. And I can't let that go, right? And so I realized there's a lot of things that people have as self-care as well that are not what people would typically, the elusive they would say is normal, right? There are so many things that people really say, this is self-care, this is self-care, this is self-care, but there are things that are not, and that they typically think of self-care, but it's what works for you. And that's why I say what works for you is where you put your affirmation. Where do you put it? I would love to hear. All right, so let me see. Let me get to the journal prompt for today. All right, is that it? Okay, there we go. Hold on. Oh man, oh man. Let's go here. All right. So part of it got cut off because it will not let you put that much. So let's see. Maybe I should just let me see if I should redo this. Hold on a second. Let me get an opportunity. Let's see if we can redo this. I'm going to take that off. And let's see if that one does it. Hold on a second. Nope, still does the same thing, so forget it. All right, so the journal prompt for today is imagine you're the main character in a book where self-love is your superpower. Ooh, doesn't that feel good? You're the main character in a book where your self-love is your superpower. And so write a short adventure where your unique qualities help you overcome a challenge, showcasing why you love yourself just as you are. And so it is another thing that you can do is you can actually write out a lot of the qualities that you have. And then you can figure out, what you would do as the main character in a book and just write it out. Wouldn't that be fun to just write a story? And even if you're not a writer, I mean, you're a thinker, you can imagine things. So just to sit and imagine, do another time in silence and just imagine that that's your superpower as this character in the book, your self-love, and just see what comes up. What kind of story can you tell yourself about you, right? Write it out because that is some powerful stuff. And then, you can, as this adventure is, you can look where your unique qualities help you overcome challenges. And then you can say why the love of yourself, just as you are, is so important. And I know this is a long one. You can shorten it if you want to. The thought is the same. So just remember that you loving yourself just as you are is the most powerful, empowering thought that you can have. And remember, it's the way you talk to yourself that you do all of the time and begin noticing. So one of your journal prompts could be, if this one is too much, if you don't want to be writing a story, maybe your journal prompt for today, let me write this down so that I can add it into the thing later. Hold on a second. Hold that thought. See, I just lost the thought. Let me think. Hold on a second. That's the way this brain works sometimes. That's why when I go on walks, I have my phone with me and there'll be something that'll come into my mind and I immediately talk to, who to bring up my notes. And I don't want to say it because she'll start answering all kinds of things. And then I'll make notes of those because sometimes it's a very fleeting thought. It's like this thought, boop, and then it's gone. And if I don't catch it, I have to think long and hard to get it to come back. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But let me see. What was I saying? All right. So let me think. Let me think. What would be that journal prompt? Oh, any ideas of a journal prompt for this loving yourself just as you are? Let's see. Okay, I'm going to share this in here real quick, and then you pick what you want to do. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me rewrite this. Okay, so here is this one. If that one, I don't know, I kind of like this one. Make a list of the qualities you have that you love or can learn to love. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Terry. So the thing is that the affirmation for the day, Terry, is and you haven't said hello in the comments, but I'm watching and it is I've got everything going over here. But the affirmation is I love me just as I am. And so I've just shared a different journal prompt, but this is one that just came to me, and I kind of like this one. So you choose which one you want, and I will share them both in the group later. But make a list of the qualities you have that you love or can learn to love. And I will say I had a client that, and this has been quite a long time ago, and she actually hired me for to lose weight, and we were going along the journey of the weight loss, and she had actually hired me as a year-long client. And so I met with her every month for a year, and I started noticing really quickly that some of the things that I was asking her to do, she was really having a hard time with. And one of them was to look in the mirror and see her body and love it just as it was. She couldn't do it. She could not do it. And so one of the things that I did was I had her look in the mirror. I said, let's just start with your face and find something about your face that you love. And she even had a hard time with that. So as I looked at her on the Zoom, I told her, and this is someone that I knew I worked with in person and on Zoom. And I told her, I said, well, you have beautiful eyes. Your hair's beautiful. You've got a great shape to your face. And so I had to kind of help her to see some of the things about her that she loved, because she couldn't go to the qualities of herself yet, because she really didn't value herself enough to find qualities that she could love or learn to love. She just really didn't think there was anything very lovable about any of her. And so we had to start small. And as we were doing that, one of the things that she did too was she apologized all the time. Every time something happened, she'd say, I'm sorry. Even when she didn't do anything wrong, she would apologize. And so then I told her, I said, well, let's stop the apologizing. And then she would get mad at herself when she apologized for things. I said, okay, let's change that. So I said, the next time you catch yourself apologizing, you can say, oh, I apologize way too often. And I love that about me. And I said, everything that comes up for you that you're chastising yourself for, and this kind of comes back to our I love me just as I am and your self talk. When something comes up that you really are like, oh, I wish I didn't do that, and you catch yourself saying it, finish it with, and I love that about me, because it actually changes the vibration of that within you, right? And it doesn't condemn you to always be in that. It actually opens up the ability to change it, to be something that you want to be. And so with this affirmation here, make a list of the qualities you have that you love or can learn to love. You can learn to love anything. I mean, have you ever had a person that in your life that in the beginning it was like, I don't know, I'm not that attracted to them. They sometimes say the stupidest things, but as you're around them and you learn the nuances of who they are, it's like those were very superficial things, and you actually end up loving them or loving things about them. And what I want you to do is do that for yourself. Even though you may have qualities that you wish you didn't have, maybe you have things that you do that you wish you didn't do. Give yourself a breather and some grace and learn to love that about yourself so that you can become even more of what you want. You cannot condemn something entirely and hold on. You can't condemn something and be working on changing it at the same time. It doesn't happen. So learn to speak to yourself with kindness and learn to love the things about you that you've never thought were very lovable. And you may find that that changes you, or maybe you find that those things that you thought were so bad were pretty damn lovable to start with. We can be so hard to ourselves and condemn ourselves for the things that other people think are amazing. We just don't see it, because remember, I've talked about it before. We have our glasses on that have the filter from our past and from the things that somebody has said to us in the past or done to us in the past. And so now it's time today, take those glasses off and put on some new glasses where you see that you are lovable, and the things that you think are not lovable, learn to love them. All right. So I hope that has been a little bit of help in your life today. And like I said, I would love to see where you actually post your affirmation out, because, maybe I haven't thought of where you put it. So definitely, I love this one. I love me just as I am. And make sure, like I said, put it on your sticky notes, your index cards, your mirror with your chalk marker as your screensaver, whatever works for you, and share what works for you. I would love to see a picture of whatever it is that you do with it and share it in the group as your hashtag peachy vibes for the day. And then go back to your journal and remember with your journal, and I know Terry has a journal that's just for this, for affirmations and journal prompts, and put the date at the top of the page. And even if you don't have a journal that's for this, create a notebook that's for this. And if you haven't done it before, start with this one and write your affirmation at the top. And the affirmation is, I love me just as I am, exclamation mark. So let me pop it up. Let me pop it up. Yep. See, exclamation. I love me just as I am. And that is powerful, right? And then the journal prompt, you can put them both there if you want, or pick which one works best for you. So the journal prompt is, imagine you're the main character in a book where self-love is your superpower, and write a short adventure where your unique qualities help you overcome a challenge, showcasing why you love yourself just as you are. And oh, that's it. Why you love yourself just as you are. And then the other journal prompt, which you can choose what works better for you, or hell, do them both, right? Make a list of the qualities you have that you love or can learn to love. And then save that and come back later. And the thing that is really cool is if this is the one that you're using, the make a list of the qualities you have that you love or can learn to love, leave it open, leave that page open. So as you're going through your day, another quality you have will pop in your mind, whoop, and then you go and you write it down, you add it to it, and you can keep adding to it, because you're going to find that there are so many superpowers that you have because of the love of yourself, the things that you do and you believe and you are. Learn to love all the nuances of you. And as you do, you will start changing the way people around you react to you. Because remember what I said earlier is when we're doing self-talk, and remember the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. When we're talking to ourselves, even if we're just making a joke, our subconscious mind is listening to every word you say. And I don't want you to make you fearful of every little word that comes out of your mouth. What I'm saying is that I want you to be more intentional with the things you say, and don't joke around with putting yourself down, pointing out the things that you don't like about yourself. Stop doing that. Stop it, stop it, stop it. If you're a person that does that, is the day that you stop. And you start thinking that those things that you have been making fun of, or those things that you have thought held you back, look to see how you can learn to love those qualities in you. And just imagine, what if those things are your superpower that makes a huge difference in your life and others? And you'll never know unless you stop doing that and you begin to look at the qualities in your life, learn to love them. If you don't love them already, learn to love them. All right. So I have to pop off here, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say, your thoughts, your maybe you can put some of your qualities that you thought were not good qualities and put them in as your superpower. You're welcome, Heather. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Terry, for showing up. And I know you it's showing that you were watching. So just thank you for being here. And if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay and let me know your thoughts. Is this something that you've been doing in your life, and are you ready to change it? The thing is, if you're ready to change it, you can change it. Starting today. All right. Be blessed. And I will put all the links in as soon as I have the opportunity. And you will, I can't wait to hear what you have to say as the day goes on. All right. Mwah.